nowadays I see a lot of people around my age, young guys and women, giving themselves very negative self-talk. It's like, for example, you praise them about something they're good at, and they will downplay it instead of actually appreciating you for the compliment. I've done it many times in the past. When I was in school, people would compliment me for something, and I would brush it off, saying I'm actually not good at it, instead of thanking them and appreciating them for it. I used to think in my head that that was being humble, that was being kind, but that's honestly quite stupid. Like, you are just giving yourself negative self-talk and putting yourself down, which is... And eventually, when you keep doing this, you may think, okay, I'm just thinking of myself in a very low manner and it doesn't mean much, but it really does. It becomes a cycle. I have observed it, I have experienced it, where you think of yourself in a very negative way, and then you literally start to live your life in that same negative way. You develop bad habits. You act like the person you think you are. If you think you're not a great person, you're going to start acting like it, and eventually that will make you the person that you are thinking about, if that makes sense. It's literally a whole freaking cycle. If you think you're a useless guy good at nothing, you're going to start living your life, do the things, you're going to act in a certain way that will make you look like that, feel like that, and eventually you are kind of going to become a useless guy who's good at nothing. As a kid, I thought of myself in a very, very negative way. I never thought or believed I was good at anything. I thought I sucked at everything. I thought I couldn't do anything. I thought I wasn't even good enough to be average. Like, I would be in school, tons of people around, and some people, as you know, would be good at sports. Some would, be good at freaking studies. Everyone would be around average. Yeah? They would be good at something. They'd have something about them. I had a whooping zero about me. Like, I mean, it was a great skill to fail at everything you do, and I was a master at it, unfortunately. But I can't really blame anyone for it. That was completely my fault looking back. I mean, obviously, I did not know anything about self-talk or anything like that back then. But now, the point is, if you actually want to achieve anything, like become successful or level up in life in any aspect, you need to actually believe you can kind of get that. I don't want to be, cliche and sit here and be like, oh, believe in yourself, believe in it. That's not my point. My point is, you need to stop thinking of yourself in a very low manner. Sometimes, we all have goals, right? Okay, I want to become this person. I want to be extremely good at this. You need to think that you're already good at that. You need to think, let's say there's this person that you want to be in 2, 3, 4 years time, whatever. You need to think you are already that person. And when you keep thinking you are already that person, your mind will literally start making you do things that will allow you to get to being that person. When I started, I don't want to keep saying self-improvement, but when I started this whole self-improvement thing, trying to improve myself in 2022, a couple of weeks in of just going to the gym, meditating, journaling, doing all the basic stuff, I just randomly, like, I didn't even watch any YouTube video for this, but I thought of myself as better than other people. Like, I could walk out of the house, I would look at everyone and feel that I was more disciplined than them, I am going to be more successful than them. It wasn't even in an arrogant way, but I just thought of myself that way, and eventually it got to a point where I'm able to consistently do things that a lot of people are not able to do on a consistent basis, because they're not disciplined enough. I'm not saying, oh, I'm better than other people, but it's just a fact that certain people are not as disciplined as I am. And that wouldn't have come if I did not think of myself in that way. Some people looking at this may say, oh, if you think of yourself in a high manner, that's just being arrogant, that's just being rude, that's just being cocky, whatever. You can say what you want, but it's what works. If you don't think you are capable of being the person you want to become, you're obviously not going to become that person, no matter what work you put in, because you're not even going to be able to put that work in if you don't think you can get there, right? So the main point of this video is, I see a lot of kids these days, literally from the small age, degrading themselves in a way. They don't really believe they can do anything great. They set themselves up for failure. They set themselves up for a very average life. And I genuinely do believe a lot of parents, like, if any freaking parents are watching this, if your kid is ambitious, let them be ambitious. Don't be like, oh, your life is set up for, being an average person. Like, don't do that, because when you're a kid, right, not much is influencing your mind. You may start watching stuff on the internet, listening to your parents. You have stuff to gain, right? You don't really know anything when you're born. It's what your parents teach you, what the society teaches you, that affects your mind and shapes you up for the future. So as a kid, if you as a parent are kind of driving an average lifestyle mindset into them, what else do you expect? 20 years later, 25 years later, 30 years later, like, what do you exactly expect? The kid is going to freaking become average. So don't think of yourself in a very low manner. Think of yourself highly. And when you think of yourself highly and you actually merge that mindset with work, effort, you will become successful. It is literally inevitable. Yeah, don't do negative self-talk unless you don't want to really achieve anything and you want to become average. Yeah, that's it.